The other day, my client said to me, I just want to know that tomorrow is going to work out for me, that the next career move I make is going to be the right one. But what it was making them do was not make a decision at all. Hi, I'm Gloria Julian. I'm a career decision coach who helps professionals commit to the career direction that they have always wanted, using evidence that they can trust and a strategy that makes sense for your analytical mind. Your Life Unbounded is a podcast to help you make that first move and finally bet on yourself. And today we're going to break down why you want tomorrow to definitely work out no matter what, why this is keeping you stuck, and how to use my 4C framework, claim, clear, choose, commit, in order to make that first move. It's the exact process I use with my clients inside Joy by Design to stop treating your life as something to be optimized and start treating it as something to experience. So let's dive in. This is what you're saying. You want to guarantee that your next career move succeeds, as we all do, but you're in a tricky spot because you're led to believe that you can guarantee your future. You got all the good grades, you made the safe career moves, you went to college, graduated with a full-time offer in hand, you got promoted, gained the respect of your colleagues, and all the accolades and achievements that went along with it. So why would you question whether or not there is a guarantee or even a way to guarantee your future? Because you've done the path that has worked out for you and it has given you the success that you keep coming back to and that you currently have. But something has happened over the years. Maybe you're a new parent and you now have kids, or maybe something shocking has happened to you that is getting you to question, what is my purpose in life? This career that I currently have, that can't be all there is to life. There has to be more to it. Ultimately, of course, the problem is you can't guarantee that tomorrow will look as peacefully as it does today. You can't guarantee that tomorrow will be executed with the same precision, perfection, and structure to create the exact life that you want. You're starting to notice that the structure you've been using all your life has finally stopped working for you. And because you have no script anymore, that feels terrifying for you. Yikes. The true reason you're staying stuck is that you're afraid of failure, and you've learned this through all the achievements that you have gained your entire life, that these corporate capitalistic ideas would work for you, and they should work for you on your next career move, right? And so you're stuck because you don't know what else you can do. You've just been following this script that has been laid out for you this whole time, expecting it to work. You are suffering from something called socially prescribed perfectionism, or what I like to call it, it's all the habits that you have learned early in life to scan your environment, to understand what are the current expectations for you, and you just execute flawlessly. This is an inherited conditioning from every corner of your upbringing. And this programming prevents career shifts later in life because high achievers have operated in this programmed environment their entire life. Their self-worth is now circling and it's strictly attached to those external achievements that you've had. So for you, this is not just a career move. This is an entire identity shift. It's who you are and how you present yourself into the world that we're talking about. You're not just about to upend this entire thing just because you think that there's a better life for you out there, even if it's the one that creates a situation where it gives you the freedom and joy you have been searching for this whole time. So when you're being ruled by socially prescribed perfectionism, you can't pivot, because making the pivot means deleting the version of who you are and that identity that you have attached to all of these years. And that is really, really hard. And there's another reason why you want tomorrow to be a guarantee. that stubbornness that you feel when trying and failing to make small changes in your life, it's really not stubbornness. It's that you're trying to avoid being creative and try different things, which is an active threat appraisal mechanism. It's really just triggering your fear of failure, anticipating public humiliation and loss of social status and a total collapse of self worth. It's through this protection motivation theory that when high achievers are faced with ambiguous situations, just like this career pivot, your risk assessment goes into a risk analysis mode that doesn't see career pivoting as a way to experiment, but rather as something to also achieve. And that's something really hard to break away from when your ego wants to achieve and it wants to feel brilliant in accomplishing this really hard, ambiguous problem, but it's also leaving you in a place where you don't move at all. So you are aggressively filtering out that wonder and curiosity from the ability to even explore a career path because you are afraid of uncertainty, and uncertainty looks like a real threat to be dealt with. It's protective. It's trying to protect you from that fear of failure and from all of it so that you avoid change, and it defaults to avoiding any conflict in your future, including career paths that might not work for you. Hence why you end up just staying stuck and not giving yourself the opportunity to explore. Ultimately, this means two things. One, it requires you to break up with the identity that got you here in the first place, going against the entire social contract that you spent decades fitting into. And two, because you are analytically minded, you can't help but wish there was a clear direction and solution that was written and prescriptive. But with your life and career, there is no textbook answer. And you can't even find out what would work for you based on what everybody else says, because their entire human experience and perspective on life and personality is so massively different than your own that it would be impossible to replicate to a T. So ultimately, it means two things. It requires you to break up with the identity that got you here in the first place, going against the entire social contract you spent decades fitting into. And second, because you're analytically minded, you can't help but wish there was a clear direction with a written prescriptive solution for you to follow. But with your life and career, there is no textbook answer. And so what's happening is that you want help. You want the data and the security that there is a life past this one. So what ends up happening instead is that you are trying to gather more evidence to show that making that pivot would make sense for you. And you're asking your friends, your family, maybe your colleagues for what you should do. What you're really doing is also deflecting responsibility over making the decision yourself. And it's making you not ready to do the real work associated with all of that growth and change because you don't want to break up with the identity that got you here, because you're afraid of failure and you just want a textbook solution. You just want somebody to say, you know what, you should just do that. But really, what you're saying is, I want you to decide for me. And that's not strategic. And that's not real evidence to create the change in the future that you really want. And I get it. And I 100% get where you're coming from on this, because I had those same questions. And that's why I'm going to talk to you about how I got through it. And hopefully that'll give you a new perspective to try it for yourself too. Engineers, analytically minded people, you do not like ambiguity. And I come from that space. I get it. I don't like ambiguity either. And I don't like that ambiguity. I was met with the career pivot ambiguity. I started seeing my career move as an experiment, an exploration. And I found myself noticing a pattern of asking, hey, why did someone make that decision? I wonder how and what was influencing their choice at that point. Were they able to get to where they are despite all the doubts and everybody saying that they couldn't do it? It was just so and way too interesting for me. And it piqued my curiosity to a point where I could just not stop thinking about it. And when I started noticing that, that's when I knew that this was not going to go away and that this was a direction worth going down. I never thought that that was anything to pay attention to. I thought everybody thought that way. I really thought everybody thought that way until I realized people don't. People have different questions and curiosities that they are curious about that I simply don't care about. And so when I used it as real strategic data to figure out and generate my next career move, things started to come together a lot more clearly because I finally decided to pay attention to this piece in me. So asking yourself how to guarantee success is the wrong question. But what is the right question with all of this? Enter curiosity. What you need is to lead with fresh curiosity about your career future, starting with what brings you joy. You need to retrain your innate drive for curiosity, not for achievement, but to replenish your childhood sense of wonder and freedom that came with it. So, how do you build a future that capitalizes on that sense of freedom in your life and career? I want to step you through my 4C framework: claim, clear, choice, commit, that I run with my clients inside Joy by Design. You start with claim. To move forward, you have to establish a new foundational version of who you are today. Because what we know is that the version of you in the past is no longer the version that will get you to your future. So many things have changed since the day that you decided to get this degree in whatever field that you got. We have to update your decision-making baseline. The second step is to clear obstacles. This is the process of identifying what holds you back from taking just the next 1% step forward. It's about managing your habits and fears, not by forcing them away, but addressing them with compassion and empathy. The third step is choice. In this phase, we strategically use curiosity to lead the way. The experimentation leads to informative data. That data leads to confidence, and that confidence leads to decisions. We run structured experiments specifically designed to look out for what brings you joy and prove what you want to keep building. Finally, commit. And this is where you put real skin in the game. It's not a forever commitment. It is a commitment for right now, backed by the strategic evidence you just gathered to keep validating that your direction and this decision is the step that you want to go forward with. So let's recap. You can't guarantee your future, but you can guarantee what you do next. Claim. Update your decision-making model because you are a different person today. Clear out those obstacles and dismantle the societal programming that served you once. Choose. Lean into curiosity and start building your database of what excites you. And commit. Put real skin in the game using small pieces of curated evidence to guide your confidence. So stop asking, how can I guarantee my next career move succeeds tomorrow? That question keeps you stuck in perfectionism and avoids the exploration that comes with true decision making. Instead, start by asking, what brings me joy? Gather enough evidence that you have curated yourself to trust that first move. My 4C framework: claim, clear, choice, commit. Inside Joy by Design. That is exactly how we do this. I am by your side as your life and career coach. I will be there with you every step of the way as you go through this messy middle of adulthood. So there you have it, my 4C framework. Claim, clear, choice, commit. This is exactly what my clients do inside Joy by Design. and I am by your side as your life and career coach every step of the way. Thank you for listening to Your Life Unbounded. My name is Gloria Julian. Follow me for more on how to create the career you want. And please share this with a friend who really needs to hear this. Have a super day. Goodbye, everyone.